Hi, I'm Coleen of Coleen Sews and Chats. We're going to make the broken dishes block today. Let's find out what I did wrong. It started well until, well, that comes later. I was cutting all my fabrics, 4.5 inches, my light fabrics, and turning them to where I had straight lines to follow. Line it up, get another 4.5. And the second 4.5. I only need two 4.5 inch squares, but I thought I would just finish this 5 inch piece up since I know I'll be doing more. And I'll put the cuts that I used below. For the white, I will tell you I used two 4.5 inch squares and one 2.5 inch square. Ignore the lines diagonal on that piece of cloth because I did. I do random things sometimes. No, I drew my lines wrong and had to fix it. And this, I'm getting me a straight edge eventually so I can get my two 4.5 inches out of that. I'm getting all my straight lines at the top, sides, lined up. Measure twice, cut once, and now I'm going to get these set up for 4 HSTs at a time, which means I am going to sew around the square. I just sew off the edge. I don't try to stop. Pull it out a little bit and put it right back. I don't cut my threads or anything. Go around all 4 sides. I'm using my seam ripper like a stiletto. It works for me. I don't see the point in buying something I don't need right now. Lining up my edges with my 1/4 foot. Quarter inch all the way around those sides. And then to get my 4 HSTs that I need, I cut corner to corner, keep them lined up. If you have a rotating mat, great. If you don't, you can see that I don't. I just spun them, and the little mat I'm using can spin. And that gives me 4 HSTs. And I will be trimming those down to 2.5. I don't know what happened. And this is about when it starts going sideways for me. Ignore that paper. I should have. I am trimming my HSTs down to the 2.5 at this point. The first edge I just do to get 2 straight edges, and the next one I line up with my 2.5 measurement on my ruler. I use a square ruler because, again, I don't see the point in buying something right now I don't need. Like I think they're block lock rulers, maybe? They're very cool though. The diagonal line on my ruler is going along the diagonal line on my block. And I'm squaring up all 4 of these. Wait for it. I'll mess up. And it's okay. It's hard making blocks just from what you think you can do. I wasn't using anybody's directions, so flying by the seat of our pants. We get there though. Promise. Just hang in there with me a little bit. Getting my straight edges and turning it to get my 2.5. Lining it up. Silence is hard, isn't it? I was never good at awkward silences. I have to talk through them. I may be apologizing later. That was a joke. I know what you're thinking. That wasn't a very good joke, Coleen. It's okay. Now this, again, starts out fine. I'm making HSTs, so I'm putting right sides together, opposite colors to the opposite. Here's where I went wrong. It's at this point I get carried away with the HSTs, making hourglasses. Put them together, make sure they line up, get my pin in there, and I'm angling it so I can later draw the line across there without the pins getting in my way. Nesting my seams all pretty. I ironed all of them to the dark side. Makes them nest very nice. And actually, I still would have done this the same. I would have turned these 4 HSTs into 4 hourglasses the same way. I would have had one left over had I been working smarter. And these, I only needed to do 1 set. But I keep going like a mad woman on a mission. I don't know. I guess I got addicted to nesting the seams up and drawing. Those 2 I should have kept back and cut them corner to corner on the diagonal. That's what I should have done. But is that what I did? No. Okay. This is where I'm making the line for my hourglasses, and I'm going to sew on either side of that line. And I'm doing it like a woman on a mission. All of them are turning into them. It's okay. No, not that one, not that one. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that one because I'm not thinking. So I had a date with Jack, the Ripper, and took those apart that I went too far on. All I really needed to do was cut a 2-inch of the white, a 2-inch of the orange, and I'd get my corner pieces out of those. Here I am fixing my mistake. Sewing my triangle to the hourglass that I was supposed to make, and sewing the white triangle to this one. And I learned how to flip my foot up and down with my left hand to keep it out of your way. I'm a genius. Okay, today I'm a genius. In a second, I'm going to go back to what was she thinking. Okay, I'm sewing my corner pieces on and putting those HSTs that I should have just cut diagonally back together. You just can't trust some people. Just sew and sew and sew and not even look at what I'm doing. It gave me a good laugh. Why was it funny? I don't know why it was funny. I guess because the option is cry. And I prefer to laugh. I was chain piecing and then I cut the chains apart, setting my seams, setting the seam, setting the seam, setting the seam, pressing open, pressing back, pressing back, pressing back, pressing back. And yes, again, pressing back. And that was a butcher block that I used as a clapper. And now I'm showing you how I set them up to sew this the proper way. I'll take the ones from the left and put them on the center. And just do my 1/4 inch down that line. All 3 of those pieces, and then I will do the opposite sides. Chain piecing, holding on to my strings in the back because this machine likes to eat corners. I've tried everything and it still wants to eat corners after a while. Making sure my fabrics are lined up on the edge with the 1/4 inch foot. And my threads got messed up, so I'm rethreading my machine. I guess y'all didn't have to see that, but hey, you're here for the ride, so let's do that. Sorry. I think I'm a comedian. Machine is rethreaded, and we're going back to sewing our pieces together, chain piecing. Oh, I know what happened here. My thread was wrapped around the needle because I wasn't paying attention and I was trying very hard to show you guys what I'd done. It did not work out. So I just stopped the camera and I rethreaded the needle the correct way, unwrapped it, and continue piecing. Just keep going. See, what's the name of that? A series of unfortunate events. I'm knocking off the dog ears here. And pressing, and now I'll finish the block. Nest those seams together, and I put pins at the intersections where I nest. And you can see where the threads meet. I was trying to keep my points, so I put them through those points on either side. And I got very clever here. I started taking my pins out with my seam ripper. And I didn't even show that. See? All the cool stuff you miss. Those flathead pins are really good for grabbing with the seam ripper and just pulling gently out of the way so you don't have to see that and I don't have to edit it out. And there is our block. And it measures at, what was that? 4 point something. I will get the right measurement for you. Here I'm explaining what I should have done, which I've already explained, and why did I leave it here? I don't know. what I should have done was go ahead and make all three of those hourglasses because they look neater making them like that. But I could have cut, like I said, the 2-inch squares for the orange and the white and cross cut. For the corners. And then the black and white triangles. Oh, I'm still showing you that because I'm kind of slow. I should have only made 1 hourglass, or I'm sorry, 2 hourglasses. It takes 2 HSTs. And then cut the other 2 diagonal. No extra cutting, no anything, just those HSTs that I made, the other 2, should have been the setting triangles. And I talk with my hands a lot. And I don't know what I'm doing. Going over my list to make sure I didn't miss telling you anything. And if you notice, it wasn't put together like a 4-patch or a 9-patch. It was put together in thirds, starting on the corner, then the center,